So let's make an RC ramp, one that's portable, less than $100, give you multiple angles, and you can carry this thing around. Now I will tell you it does weigh 70 pounds, so you might want to put some wheels on it to help you move it around even better. All the supplies needed are going to be listed in the description below, along with the links to where they get them from. Now when you look at the pictures of the ones that I built, you will notice that, or the one that I built, you will notice that mine is a little bit different. Well, my wife wanted a accent wall in the back bedroom, so I had some leftover pieces of thin strip plywood already cut, and that's what gave me the basis of this idea. So first, you're going to go ahead and gut your wood. You're going to want to do 4 2x4 by 42s, 2 2x4 by 45s with a 45-degree angle on one end of each one of those, 2 2x4 by 21 inches, 2 2x4 by 8.5 inches, 1 2x4 by 35 inches. Then you want to cut the 11/32 plywood to 42 by 60 and the 5/8 plywood to 42 by 44. So first thing you're going to do, you're going to lay your fronts down, and you want to put the 45-degree angles up and on the same end. Now we're going to consider that end the back end. Everything else will be the front end. And once you get those laid down there, you're going to put one 2x4 by 42, and you're going to square that off against the top. And then once you get that squared off against the top, you can go ahead and fasten that down. I use 3 screws on each side. Then 29 inches from the edge of that, you're going to want to put your next 2x4 by 42. This is going to be working on the base part itself. Then you can go ahead and add your 2x4 by 8.5s and butt them up against the 2x4s in the pictures. Next, you go ahead and add your hinges. You want to put the barrel facing the back, and then you want to make it to where the hinge will open up. So you're going to lay the flat edge down, and you're going to make the hinge to where it opens up towards the back. Then you can attach another 2x4 by 42 to the other side of these two hinges. This is going to give us our pivot point, and you can see this in the pictures below, how this is accomplished. And once we get that taken care of and we get the hinges on this thing, then we can go ahead and lay our 5/8 24 by 42 plywood across the top of that other 2x4 and go ahead and fasten it in place. And once we get that fastened in place, we can go ahead and start working on the second part. You're going to take one 2x4 by 42, and you're going to attach hinges to one side of it, and you want the round barrel side of the hinge facing up, and you want to leave enough space for that barrel to have a gap in between the two of the 2x4s, so you have enough space in there for the barrel. I think the picture explains it better than I am. Once you attach these 2x4 by 21s to the 2x4 by 42 with these hinges, then you're going to go ahead and attach your 2x4 by 31. Is that right? 2x4 by 35, I'm sorry. And you're going to attach that just like it shows in the pictures. And what I did to attach this is I used the 2-inch screws, and I came in at a 45-degree angle from each top of each side. And I put 2 screws in each side of that. And again, this is better illustrated in the pictures, I do believe. So you can see how that's attached and where the barrels face and all that in these pictures. Then, once you get this completed, you can go ahead and lay the second piece on top of the first piece, just like it is in the pictures. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to lay your piece of 11/32 inch plywood, and you're going to lay that down on top there. And make sure you only screw it in the places where it's marked in the pictures that you see. And this is going to give us our pivot points. Doesn't do you any good to screw it anywhere else. You want to screw it in between those little edges. And I put one screw in about 2 inches down from the top, and then I made them about 4 inches across. I spaced them out about every 4 inches. And then you're going to do the same thing on the back end of it. So once you get all that screwed into place, and here's some more pictures of mine. Now you'll notice mine already has its little an arch to it. That's because I don't collapse mine every time we get through using it, so it ends up keeping up with that arch. It ends up making its own arch and staying in that form. Now I should close it every time that I'm through using it to keep that arch from doing that. And if I ever rebuild this thing, which I probably will, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I do close this thing and store it inside. I don't store mine inside. It stays on the back porch most of the time. Matter of fact, it stays on the back porch all the time. And so the moisture and everything gets to it, and it makes that board stay warped when you leave it, up in an upright position or in a ready to jump position. So once you get all this attached, as you can see in these pictures, this is what you should have and what it should be looking like. And then at that point, you can go ahead and you can put in your the expanded steel latch, I believe is what they were calling that. Let me look that up real quick. Let's see, what do they call that? That is called yeah, it's called metal lath is what it's called. Now I added the metal lath to mine before I painted it, and let me tell you, that metal lath makes a huge difference in what you can do coming off these jumps, because that metal lath is what's going to give you your traction to come off this ramp. Now this ramp does have several different positions that you can put it in, and we're going to go over that next. One thing to be careful on that metal lath is it's got a sharp side, it's got a smooth side. You want to put the smooth side facing away from the board. That way you're not ripping up your tires when you go up this thing. But I think you'll be able to figure that out. I actually attached my lath to the boards using a staple gun. Not one like you'd find in an office, one of the hand staple guns that you would use for like upholstery or something like that. Now once you get all that together, now you have a couple different positions. You have one that's fully extended, and there's some pictures of it fully extended. Now I'm going to show a little video and show you what we have going on here. Now I also put hooks on the side of mine to keep it closed, so that when it for carrying it around and stuff, it stays closed. That way you can keep the hooks on both sides, latch it together, and it won't open up on you when you're trying to carry the thing. And I did not put those in the length in the description for those. I mean, you can buy just any kind of hooks that you really want for that. And then you just set it down, carry it where you want, set it down, unhook your latches on both sides. And then you have a couple different positions. There's your short jump. There's your long jump. Or different angles, I would say. There's a slight angle, and then you have the bigger angle, and then if you really want to send it, you put some cinder blocks underneath it. We call this one to the moon. Now, we call it to the moon for a reason. When I put cinder blocks under mine, and I actually jumped my X-Max over my house. That's how much of an angle it got, and how much air that I actually got off of this ramp, just by putting those cinder blocks on it and putting it in that fully extended position. I hope some of this helped some of y'all out, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below, and I'm more than happy to get back to you. As always, bash on, and thanks for watching.